Welcome back, everybody. In this video, we're going to discuss various ways to change how we view the edit and mix windows. In Pro Tools 101, we discussed how we can change the mix or edit window views by coming up here to the View drop-down menu and then changing how we view things. So, for example, we could maybe add inserts here or other things like sends. Or maybe we wanted to add our track comments. So we can add all those. You also remember that we can remove them by using the Option key, which also hides. That is the simplified way you learned how to change the edit and mix window views. We can also change these views by using what's called the view selectors. There's a view selector in both the edit and mix windows, so let's look at those real briefly. Right here is the edit window view selector. You can see it has that name. Using the tool tips, you can see that as I hover over there, edit window view selector. If we click on it, you'll see it gives us the same information as is found up here under edit window views. So I'm using a later version of Pro Tools, version 18.7, and you can see that you can add these various elements in our edit window here. And then all you need to do is hit escape to get out of there. So that's one way to quickly add some differing views to your edit window, rather than having to come up here and select edit window views and choose one at a time. The same is true in the mix window. You also have a mix window view selector. It happens to be found right down here in the lower left-hand portion of the screen. You can see there via the tooltips, mix window view selector. Same thing here. You can click on it and you can add a variety of the options for changing how you're viewing your mix window. You can see I've got a lot of options set here already because I want to look at my sends as also inserts and a few other things. So this is, again, where you can change how you view your mix window. Back in the edit window, we also have an additional view selector right here. This is the rulers view selector. If you click on that, you can see it gives you the same information as you find up here under view, rulers, and then you have your time-based ruler, timeline rulers, and your conductor rulers. The same information is contained right here via your rulers view selector. Another way to change the ruler views is by just right-clicking on a ruler. You can see that also brings up the same information as I right-click on each of these individual rulers. And then from there I can add minutes and seconds or whatever I want. Choose to add some of those, and then I hit escape to get out. You can see I've added all these various rulers to my session. It's also possible to right-click on any of the views names, so inserts, sends, that type of thing, to change the views. So right-click, and then maybe we'll add inserts F through J, and then maybe we want to, add some sends, or perhaps we want to change the I/O, so we could right-click on I/O and maybe add some of our sends back. So any of the views, inserts, sends, I/O, can be right-clicked upon to change our views as well. You can change the width of each track in the mix window by coming up to the view menu and choosing narrow mix. What this does is it narrows the width of each track, allowing you to have more tracks on your screen at one time. There's also a shortcut for this. You'll see that that is Option Command M. So Option Command M, you can see I'm using it down here, will change your width of your mix window from standard to narrow. All of the views are available in both the mix and edit windows. I find, however, that it's best to leave as much horizontal real estate in your edit window as possible. So I tend to leave inserts, sends, I/O, all those things that may eat up some of my horizontal real estate. I tend to leave those out of the edit window and only have them visible here in the mix window. Again, however, that's just a personal preference. Another set of tools that will only be available inside of a Pro Tools project are these track collaboration tools. You can see you can disable those or turn those off over here. This is also where you can turn them on. And then you'll see that you have these track collaboration tools here, as well as some icons here at the head of each track. So these as well can be enabled or disabled by right-clicking and choosing to deselect them, or by using the, in this case, the edit window view selector. And right here, track collaboration tools. So again, these are only found inside of a Pro Tools project, but they aren't found inside of a regular session. These collaboration tools are used specifically for posting and receiving shared track data when collaborating with somebody else remotely. The track list is displayed on the left side of both the mix window and the edit window, and it gives you a number of variations as to how you would like your tracks to be viewed in your session. So let's look at the track list right now. Tracks that are displayed are showed with a solid black dot. Tracks that are currently being hidden are shown with a gray dot. So you can see here that a lot of these are showing and only a couple of them are hidden. One thing that's important to remember is that a track will play back even if it's hidden. So if I, for example, hide all these tracks like this and then go ahead and play this session, you'll notice it's still playing, even though all the tracks are hidden. So just because they're hidden does not mean that they're not going to play. That's a common mistake that sometimes students make. Also, tracks that are displayed here in the track list appear identically in both the mix window and the edit window. So for example, if I hide long verb, and you'll see long verb disappear right here. If I hide long verb, you'll notice it's gone here in the mix window, but it's also gone here in the edit window. So whatever is appearing in your tracks list also appears in your mix and your edit windows. The track list also has a pop-up menu. Within that menu, you'll find a variety of options to show and hide specific tracks. So you could hide all tracks, you could hide selected tracks. So maybe I want to hide all of my reverb. So I'm going to select all those and then come up here and say hide selected tracks. So now all of those have been hidden. We can also show them all by just clicking and moving across all of them. You can also show or hide tracks based on a track type. So maybe we want to just see all of the audio tracks. Or maybe we would like to see all of the aux input tracks that would contain all of our reverbs and delays and that kind of thing. So now you can see all of the aux tracks currently in use. You can also show all of the tracks or show specific tracks or hide specific tracks. So it gives you a lot of variety with how you want to display your track options inside your session or project.